So I'll start the recording now. Excellent. Well, thank you. Welcome. Welcome everyone. This is March 24th, Monday. Pretty good Monday. Interesting price action here. Um, One of the things, and this weekend was like a total. I mean, weekends can be a little weird. But another reason why, like, I should try and avoid trading weekends, but I know some people are like, and I agree, weekends can be hit or miss. It's just, the lower volume, and more erratic price movements can sometimes cause things to go a little haywire. But yeah, for the most part, still just gonna play it simple, stick to the levels. I'm gonna be risking slightly less, so expect less plays, at least for now, only because of where we are. So the things I have open still are like Toshi, Doge, and then a few others that are very, very high confidence limits for swings. So like for example, Doge, same thing here. I would actually expect. What's interesting is like a lot of coins are deviating. I drew this up, a while ago. We're deviating to the high first. I mean, even like ILV, which is a coin that was, kind of at its, pretty much all-time low, I think. Like if we zoom out here, right? This is, yeah, exact all-time low. A lot of these coins are at their all-time lows, but here's the problem, right? Everyone sees this chart and is trying to long it because they want to get the bottom, right? And I'll tell everyone it is impossible to get the bottom. The market makers know this. It's impossible unless you basically set your stop loss at 0, right? And then you basically just DCA down. Because what'll end up happening is, I mean, this is one example, but this is every single chart is the same, like in this fractal, right? What'll end up happening is the weekly fractal will end up playing out and will end up doing a retracement to the order block that it's in. So probably the open, so 17. So here's an example. I'm just using this example, just a reference point, right? Everyone's longing here, thinking this is the bottom. And then what's going to happen is this monthly is going to go up, right? It's going to go up. It's going to take this high. If we're unable to close above here in that weekly, what's going to end up happening is this weekly candle is going to basically just retrace back into range. And then the closure on the monthly will end up happening and we'll end up taking the lows. So what that looks like is something like this, right? Right. And it would just liquidate everyone who just basically went long and thought this was the bottom. Now, that's another reason why, like Doge, for example, the limits that I have set are for that exact purpose, right? For that exact purpose. I'm expecting this to move up in a bearish manner and then wick down into a high time frame entries. Same thing with this, same thing with Toshi, and a few others. There's, Toshi's actually almost there. We're getting a little close. Toshi's moving very bullishly. I actually like this one more than many others, because of the high time frame range. We're still in this consolidation channel. We haven't cleared the low yet, and we do have this internal range that's still open. So as soon as we and honestly, I honestly still expect yellow to play out. Basically, yellow is the consolidation. We have a consolidation here. As soon as we wick the lows of this range, right, we have between red, here, I'll put this in a different color here, between orange and red, right? I'll delete that orange. Between orange and red is going to be our range. Now, I want to see basically this. I want to see us clear orange on the daily and then make the closure back above orange, right? When we do that, we're already filled on our longs. Once we fill on our longs, we hold, and then as soon as we make that daily closure, this would actually confirm the high time frame reversal, such that we're going to go back into range to the 5, and then the fractal is going to play out on the weekly, right? Fractal is going to play on the weekly, and we're going to go back into a new all-time high. So this is another example of a play that, everyone is trying to long the bottom now. Everyone thinks this is the bottom. This is not the bottom. I mean, if I pull up ETH, right, and I know that there was a few people who were looking for potential shorts on ETH. I think we're just a little bit too early. I think I have this drawn up. I had this drew up before. We are on the high. This is actually where I would want to short, to be honest. But this is unconfirmed. I don't want to take another loss shorting because I've just been trying to short the top for a couple times now. So instead, I'm going to play the confirmation this time, right? Simple as that. So ETH is the same thing. Once we take this range, we start to close underneath 2065. Then I would actually have the range low open at under 1K because we already broke. Effectively, if you consider this, right, we already broke this trend, and we're already just consolidating underneath. We have internal range liquidity below us at 1.7. So what's at 1.7 is we might actually do something like this, where when we take 1.7, we might bounce a little bit and then go down. But I would expect ultimately we end up at under 1,000 for ETH. In the high time frame. So I'm gonna just wait that out a little bit more, and then go from there. So let's see, what else are we looking at? I took a Mavia short, long this morning. We just hit a daily OTE, and we already had a market structure break. This is a pretty clean range, but the same thing here. What's good about this is I expect this to have a weekly closure. As soon as we get this weekly closure, right above here, right above there. Look at that, how beautiful that is. If we can close the next 2 days, look at this candle. There are 2 of these candles. If we can close the next 2 of these candles above 2350, then the weekly inversion will play out and we'll be bouncing from this order block. And the weekly inversion brings us up to at least this weekly at $1. So I'm going to hold this, bring this up to $1 and go from there. So this is a pretty clean play as well. Now what's interesting is we could go back into this range as well. Like if you want to keep running it, that's fine. I'm going to just TP because honestly, this market is just a total garbage fest. I'll be honest with you guys. It's a total garbage fest because everyone thinks they're bullish, but every single chart, every single candle I'm seeing printed is printing bearish, right? Bearish defended wicks, which is basically SMRs to the bear side. Even though we're seeing lots of pumps, right? You look at any coin that's like pumping insane, like I don't know, I'll pick one random one here, right? Any coin that's pumping insane, even this one, right? ALK, I have no idea what this coin is. Zero idea. But every single one, what we're doing is we're leaving breadcrumbs here. We're leaving a flat OB to the downside, and then we're printing basically a bearish SMR, right? A bearish SMR to the upside. So if anything, we should still be, this example here, we could pump a little bit more, but ultimately I would see us back down. Every single coin is showing this, like that's pumping a huge amount. Whatever you name it, it's bearish. So I think, because what I think is going to happen is I think everything is being basically pushing to the upside to take liquidity for the short, which will end up being the high time frame bottom, right? The high time frame bottom will be coming in, but it will be an incredibly fast, incredibly high liquidation wick. Probably some capitulation of some sort. So let's see. I'm going to take some questions, and I know there was a couple people who had questions with regards to some of my setups earlier. So let's look. Taz, you have a question on BTC. I'll take a look at BTC real quick. So same thing here. This is, I mean, I could take away these lines and just show you, like, this is effectively what if I were to draw out the channel on this, like you would look at it and be like, oh wait, what is this? That's a bearish channel, right? If you've ever seen one, right? Very simple bearish channel. Same thing, every coin is printing this, bearish channel. XRP also just is hitting my short levels again. I think I took my short just a little too early, and I cut it, but it's all good. In this case, I'm just gonna wait, right? I'm gonna wait until we start printing. We're already actually slowly printing under OTEs here. So if we consolidate here underneath 2.5, this is also really good for the short, because this will be going back down under $2, because we already cleared this range. So same thing here. Let's look at BTC again. So I'll probably hop into the XRP short probably later today. But yeah, so for BTC, right, max pain on BTC, we could go all the way up to like, 90. You can even go up to like 96. But what's interesting is here is like 90, once we get up to 96, we're clearing up a huge amount of liquidity. And I just don't, I don't know, I just don't like how much like very smooth liquidity is all the way down, right? All the way down, such that we could basically just go like this and then just close down like that, right? And that I would not completely, actually, I would even not be surprised if we did a huge liquidity take like that and like took, I don't know, this daily inversion right up here, right? I mean, let's be honest. If we want to do OTEs from this range, which actually is probably what I should be doing here, I don't know why I wasn't doing this sooner. Let's check. Where is it? Where's the? I always. Oh, it's over here. So if we want to check OTs from this range, where does it land us? It lands us. Yeah. Oh wow. Look at that. 102. Oh, interesting. That's a 7-9 right there. There's a daily open. Oh my goodness. Guys, this is interesting. This is the first time I'm seeing this live right now. But I'll be honest, if we do this, I would think that Bitcoin is effectively topped out, and this is the bearish retest right down, back down to 65, something like that, right? So I'll leave this on, but I think we're just going to clear this range, incredibly huge clearing of this range. So OTEs on this is what we want to look out for. We want to look out for everything between 96, 900 and 102. When we are in this box, this is the danger zone, right? Danger zone of like, where should I'll draw a box here. I always miss where the boxes are. Here we go. So I'll put this in orange. This is our danger zone because we don't want to long anywhere here. Basically, we want to be looking for shorts. So looking at shorting BTC today, I don't think so. I mean, if we're going to short, that's the thing. We already cleared this range. We could go get back down to 85 or something, possibly, right? We could just do something like this. Where we see like, okay, we cleared this and we go back down here, and then but ultimately, I think what we're going to be doing is, and I'll clear this up a little bit. I think we're going to be going to breaking this range and then clearing it to the upside before we then start making closures underneath 100 and then take the lows. So I'll keep this up here. This is look, I'm actually liking this bias probably the most now, and doing it live with you guys has actually been helpful. So thank you. I got to thank you guys for asking me these questions. So yeah, I think this is going to play out. We're going to see something where we ultimately take the highs, take all the liquidity to the upside, and then clear out once, and then go back down to 72. After that, if you want to see big moves, you got to expect big moves, right? If you want to see the big move to the downside, you have to expect that there's going to be a big move to the upside first, because that's how the market makers move price. They have to take liquidity. You have to see a liquidation wick of some sort. So all the shorts that are short up here would need to be liquidated first if we want to see a huge move, because there's basically what ends up happening is there's going to be a liquidity void right down here. And then where's the liquidity going to be, right? All the way in the internal, all the way down here. So market makers going to want to drive the price right back down. So expecting a small pullback maybe here to 84.7, and then possibly a range consolidation of between 84 to 93, and then eventually taking the high. I want to see all the way up to like almost 100, maybe 100K. I'll be honest, I could push 100K. And I'm going to owe someone money there because I was so bearish on Bitcoin. I was like, no, I bet you that Bitcoin's never going to reach 100K again. It's going to go to 56. But now I'm looking at this, I'm like, you know what? Maybe I was just going in biased, right? I need to go in without a bias. Go in without a bias on the charts, and you'll come out a much better person. Because if you think it's going to go, if you go in with a bias, then you're going to try and look for that bias, which is the problem, right? You look for, hey, I'm bearish on the market. Terrible. Don't do that. Go in, look at the charts, ask them, what do you see? Don't go into the bias. That's number one rule. I should be doing that today as well. So yes, ultimately bullish in the medium term, right? The next few days, possibly into April. Possibly into April. Yeah, bullish into April. I could probably pull up my total three charts. I think I mentioned to you guys earlier how I was playing it before. But what's interesting here is we did not take this low. I do not like that. I do not like that. I posted this chart a while ago. We're getting the push high, but we did not take this low. I just do not like that at all. So if we do invalidate this and we push the high first, then I'm gonna have to completely redo my bias here. If we push the high first, then ultimately the same thing is gonna happen on total three, right? We're gonna see this wick, this liquidation wick, happen later, right? Something like this, and then and I'll put that on yellow, right? Something like that. I know there's a lot of lines there, but ultimately that's what I would expect to see if we do not take the low first. So ultimately looking to short at 1 trillion because that is the range high that we want to look for our hard time frame shorts, right? Swing shorts, and go from there. Cool. So let me also explain. I was going to explain my auction short. I was so fast to pull the trigger on because I saw we were watching it earlier. We were trying to short it earlier, and then I posted the the almost 1,000% gain here. Let me explain. I'll explain the tactic here. But what's interesting too is auction is actually at it's actually at high time frame OTE. So I'd honestly want to long it now. If you want, right, to at least for 36, I would expect yellow to play out a little bit here because we do have this range low already taken, right? So actually, sorry, it's not taken. We could dip a little bit more down, but honestly, it's bottomed out from here. So with that said, let's go back to what we were looking at before. So on the weekly, right? When we were trying to short, we shorted from this range, which is fine and dandy, right, from yellow. But what's interesting is as soon as you can see here, right, we got this retracement right here. I was in profits for a little bit. I didn't take anything. But what's interesting too is when we started to consolidate on the lower time frames right here, we made an SMR and then we started breaking above right here. This is where obviously probably should have cut because of how we reversed right there. And I prefer to cut like a trade that's a small trade that's like I know is going to go against me, or I cut a break even on purpose because of this. This is an exact reason why, right? You'd rather not take the loss if you're seeing a reversal like this. This is a very strong reversal signature. We got three lows, right? 1, 2, 3, and then we have a break above this high right here. So that's a market structure break. So on the 3 hour, we already had a bullish reversal. So what does that tell us? It's actually quite simple. It tells us that the chart, the draw on liquidity, is not this. It's not this wick. It's not this one, right? It's not this one. What is it? Well, the next one is all the way up here. This is the next draw. But what's funny is as soon as you see this, you're like, well, if you think about price as a magnet, if price is going to go here, then how close is this price to this price? It's actually quite close, right? And if you look at the chart too, you can see what happened right when we tapped here. Right when we tapped here, we got a rejection. Look at that. Got a rejection. But the same thing happened. We consolidated and we closed above this high, right? The order block high. We started to consolidate. What happened there? That just told you that, okay, this is also not the draw. That's also not the draw. Well, what's the draw, right? It's the next one. I delete those. And basically what I did was I was watching this and then I knew it was going to 48, right? That's why I cut the trade. I knew it was going to go to 48. I just didn't know whether or not I was going to reject there or not. Once it cut to 48, I was watching it carefully because what ended up happening is we impulsed right through, right? We impulsed right through. And here's the fun part. I'll go down to the 30-minute. We impulsed through and then we created a range. This is incredibly clean. I love this. This is perfect, right? This is exactly what we want to see. At a new all-time high, we wick dumped really quick, but you notice something. We dumped below the previous high at 48. This is a sign that we have a reversal because the liquidity was taken at the high, and then we made closures below the high after creating a range. So I'm going to do some magic for you guys, right? You take the OTEs from the high to the low, and you take your short entries from there, right? Can't be more obvious. Can't be more obvious, right? Look at that. 3 arrows for you to see. And as soon as that happened, I was actually out. I was not even near my desk, so I couldn't alert it. And I saw this. I was like, oh shoot, I'm gonna take the short from 60, right from 60. So I saw the 3. Look, 1, 2, 3. 3 highs right here. As soon as we closed below and made this market structure shift right there, this is the entry for the short. I shorted heavy, and then I took it all the way down. So I made like 1,000%. I took it all the way down to like 28 or something because it cleared the entire range, right? This is the kind of short that we're looking for. These are the kinds of moves that I look for on a daily basis, right? Because I'm a busy man, I can't always catch the smaller moves. These are the kinds of moves that I aim for. So I'll undo all this garbage here. But hopefully that answers your question on why I saw it, how I saw it, what I did, my execution, so you can take some notes, and then we can go from there. But this was probably the most cleanest short that I saw, and as soon as I saw it, I took it. Apologies again, I was not near my desk, I couldn't alert it in time, but I know everyone here was also watching it as well. So keep that in mind. But fear not, what goes up must come down, and what goes down must come up. So look at this, right? We do the exact same thing, right? What's going to happen here? Here's our range. If you want to take OTs from this range, we can take the low from here. And what I would expect, oh, great. I'm glad someone caught something here. What I would expect from this point on is something like this, where we create some sort of small SMR here, maybe go down a little bit lower, but effectively we want to see closures here. And then eventually what will end up happening is a very, very fast wick to OTEs, followed by another dump, right? Oops, I'll clear this up a little bit more. So I'll make this a little bit less lines. Something like this. So bam, 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 wham, bam, thank you, ma'am. Right, something like that. I would expect playing out. So we can keep auction on our watch for now. We are very close. If we start to see a market structure shift, let's go down to the lower time frames and I'll show you guys what I'm looking for here. We already sort of have a low time frame one, but we do have this internal range liquidity that's not been taken. I have 18.3 marked out. So really what I want to see here is exactly this. Here's the high. Let's take the high from orange, right? If we do this, if price paths the teal path, where we take the low at 18.3, what we're going to do is I'll look for the long from here, take it from 18.3, and then bring it back up to OTEs, right? So that's about a 5 RR trade. So what we'll do is we'll look for that when the time comes. I'm going to be incredibly busy today, so hopefully I can alert it. But when the time comes, that's what you're looking for. Excellent. So any questions, any coins, any things you guys want to check out or look at? I have about like 5-10 minutes left. I'll set an alert on this one actually, since we want to clear this. I'll do 15-minute closure above. Let's do greater than auction long confirm. And then we'll take the entry from there. Great. So as soon as we see this break, I want to see this break. So from here, this is our entry up here, right? Cool. Dot and Zeke, Zcash. Let's check out Dot and Zeke. I'm going to see how many I can get through. I did Dot a while ago, but this is also very outdated. Very outdated. We took the lows first. Oh, interesting. This is surprising. This is actually quite surprising. Weekly closed below. This is, oh no, this is pretty good actually. No, this is pretty good. Weekly, we closed the weekly here. I'll clean up my chart actually. Yeah, we closed the weekly here. Let's see the daily. We got daily flat, monthly. Nothing too crazy on the monthly. 8 hour. What's our OT range from here? Yeah, roughly the flat there. So this is actually not too bad. And then we have a low. This is actually not too bad, to be honest, guys. This is already an AMD structure. So what I would expect to see is something like maybe we take the high a little bit more, but ultimately we go back to 3.9, under 4. I want to see us wick under 4 and then start closing back above. And then that would be the long, TP somewhere around 5.6. So yeah, that's not. Maybe I'll set an alert on this one for later. But that's not right there. You could probably go a little higher if you really want to, but whatever, doesn't matter. I'll put an alert down for 4.1. That'll be my watch bar close. If we're going down less than, I want a less than on the 1 hour because that's an hourly low right there. I'll put the hourly low there. So let's do dot long watch. Great, less than, perfect. Thank you for that one too. This is actually pretty good. So once we clear $4, I want to see $4 cleared. Not longing here, but yeah. Cool. Zeke, I'll see if I can get through a couple more and before I gotta run. Yeah, that's $2 exactly. Not too bad, but every $2 counts, right? So Zeke, the Zeke is getting a little ugly here. I drew this up a while ago. This range is actually kind of clean, but this is actually not. We took the high, the weekly, took the low. We have that in weekly SMR. Yeah, this is pretty ugly. I'll admit this is actually pretty ugly. Yeah, this is pretty ugly. Daily, I mean, we already created the daily SMR. So honestly here, we already closed back in range. We took the high first. So here's our range. And then there's our range from there. If we take the OTs from this, then let's check the 4 and the 3 lower time frame. Same thing here, right? Same exact thing. For the structure wise, I'd expect us to take the high first before going to the low. So something like this, take the high possibly up to 41 maybe, and then closures below, only to wick down to take 20 to 18, right? This is the range that we want to see. I'm going to make this a little tighter here. Maybe it might be, how crypto moves, it moves pretty fast. So might not even be that long from now. But yeah, Zeke, I think for Zeke, the play would be to look for the short because this range is still, we took the high of this range first. So let's look for the short starting at 36. I'll do 36 and then do bar close for open greater than, right? So 3 hour Zeke short watch would be what we want to do. For that's gonna be taken pretty quickly, and we're gonna go past 36. We're gonna go probably up to 39.40. Once we do that, then we can look for the short. That'll actually be a pretty good short for the RRYs here, at least to the range low. But what's fun is once we get to the range low here, honestly, this is going to be cleared, and then this is going to make a new range. That's probably going to be the all-time low. I'll tell you, say that much. Once we get down here, this will probably be the all-time low, and then we could probably take it right back up to like over 100 if we want to. So I'll leave that up. I'll leave that up here, right? Something like this is what I want to see. I want to clear out these people who are along with those stops. That's a very weak low, and again, there's a weak low. Plus, we took the high first. So I would expect us to wick through, close, take $20, the people who have stops right here at $23. Once we take those people out, then we start closing back above 23 and then go to 100 from there. So I'll set the alert on Zeke for the 1 hour closures under, this is probably going to be fast. So I'm going to do crossing down less than, I'm going to do actually crossing. Let's do Zeke along from there. That's our range. Excellent. Chems, and then I actually need to run, so apologies on that. But let's do chems. Chems. I don't even know how to pronounce this. I've never even seen this coin. Let's look on the high time frame first. I like to get my quarterly. Let's get quarterly. Quarterly, we have our quarterly high taken. Wednesday, a monthly high still there. Monthly high still there. Weekly high still open. Daily. This is not looking too good. I'll admit. This is actually not. It's looking good for a short. I'll say that much. Looking great for a short. I think we're going to take this high first, though, if anything. So what we want to look for is this range. Basically, we want to range to the low and then take the high. Once we take the high and then make closures below, then we're going to make a long descent back down. Something like that. Very long descent. These are all very weak lows, incredibly weak lows. Yeah, this is incredibly weak lows. Whereas, I mean, honestly, there's a flat OB here. Oh my goodness, this is gonna go this is gonna go to zero, basically. I'm sorry to say, this is gonna go to zero eventually, right? Eventually. But this flat OB is going to be taken if we close back into this range. This is relative equal highs here, and then we close the range high first. We take this out. Liquidity is good. There's no more liquidity left, right? None. That's it. We start to close back in range here on the daily, then it's just basically going to fall over like a can of bricks or something, right? So let's do a bar close crossing. Let's do that, yeah. Keem short watch. So for this one, I'm probably not gonna take it unless it might be too busy to take this one, but this looks pretty clean. If we take the high, then start to close underneath 20, right? Or 0, 0, a bunch of zeros and 2, right? Zeros and 2. We do that, and honestly, you could just like TP. You could just hold it. I mean, just take the short and then just like hold it and trail your stop all the way down. If you want, I might do this one. This is pretty decent too. So thank you for showing me this one. Very incredibly weak lows. Look at this. Oh my goodness. This is just like so smooth. Smooth. Yeah, basically from orange to orange, and from there, that would be where we want to see. It's probably going to be pretty quick to sweep this. So it'll be like something like this, right? Sweep high, go back down, go back up, something like that. Yeah, cool. So I'll leave that up. That's Keem's. Great, excellent. So have our alerts. We have our plan. Let's stick to the plan and let's make some money. Happy Monday and stay safe. Yes, I know. Streamed early. I have the recording. I'll send it to you if you want. And yeah, stay safe. Remember, everything will be okay.